Good morning, everybody. It says I'm live. I hope that you can find me and this is working. If not, worst case scenario, I'll redo it again. So, we're here today to talk about remaking your life. I have a one yes. Good. Someone's here. And what I want to talk about, just begin to start with this group experience, is we're going to use the power of your thought, the power of visualization, and saying affirmations. But there's going to be a process about it as we go along. So I think you'll find it quite interesting. And the first thing I want to ask everyone to do is to take a moment, if you have a piece of paper or can get one, I want you to write down what you are aware of about your life now. Because when we get done this program, you're going to want to see how it's changed and empower yourself to know that you have that ability. So let's take about 5 minutes and write about how your emotional state is, how you handle when things are presented that don't fit for you inside. Um, how's your health? How do you feel energetically? Whatever it is that comes to you, because this is going to change even your physical health if we go through understanding why these things work and how you go about to have them work for you. Good morning. I would say your names, but I don't see who you are. I see there's 6 people now online. Thank you and welcome for coming. You're all going to just love this. So everybody's taken a few minutes to write down what their life looks like to them now, because we're going to be changing it by using spiritual things and scientific ways of making uh, shifts in how you see the world. So I have 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Don't forget. And 7 people on board. If you just got here, write a few words or a paragraph about how your life is today, because in the end and probably through the process, because even if the live isn't working now, um, I have a response that 3 are giving me a thumbs up. Um, um, so I guess it's working. But I want to get that first because maybe just after today, some things are going to change. And how exciting is that? All right. So I'm going to go ahead. If you need to keep writing, that's fine. But we're going to go about changes of your health and your spiritual development. And I'm sure many of you have heard about the path. This is going to be one way to have an observation of the path and perhaps not have such a, oh, the path feeling. I, all my life, has been excited and passionate about, I want to learn more about myself and embrace and love more. And I'm hoping this course is going to help you find that inside you. Um, some people call it work. I happen to never think of it that way. When I hear that, I'm like, wow. And I've sometimes had 3 sessions in a day for a whole week for a number of weeks. I just wanted to know what else was in there. So it'll be good if you can find that excitement. Or, well, yes, the time. I can hear that thought. Good morning. We now have 10 on board. Thank you very much. I can't see the chat to say hello to you, but thank you, everyone. I appreciate you coming on. So I'm going to start the beginning of this process. If you hadn't heard, oh, it's up to 13. I want you to write a paragraph about what your life is. So when we get done this process, I want you to be able to look back and read it and wonder, wow, what a difference life is today. We're going to take it step by step. And in the end, you'll be able to attain success and manifest your desires. And we're going to broaden your perception. So let's talk about perception for a moment so you understand what that means if you didn't. Let's say you can look at a problem and you'll see it in the life of reality. Like, oh, well, this is over, or oh, I'm in trouble, or what do I do with that? But you're going to learn to lift yourself up into a higher level of consciousness, which when you look at the same issue or the same experience in your life, you're going to see the lesson that's there for you, give it love, transform it, and realize that maybe in a day it can get to where, for me, things are gone in a day, half a day. It doesn't exist. But we can welcome the lessons as they come. When life gets difficult is if we take them with the understanding that they're happening to you. There's something trying to create pain or discord for you. And none of that is really true. Life happens because it's how we learn. It's why we've come to Earth. And when we can begin to embrace that, the world changes. We're going to know that no matter who you are, that every soul is seeking for what we're going to talk about. It's an innate part of you. The soul is your spirit. What is in the soul? The soul is the past lifetimes you've led and the patterns that you haven't evolved are still traveling in your soul to remind you. But it also has your higher self, which is your higher experience of your divinity. And in the barrier where they separate themselves is the mind barrier you may have heard about, because this side is the lower four chakras, and the higher self is at this moment somewhere in your top four chakras. But as you transform, it can come to sit within yourself, and it is who you will become. So the soul spirit has a great capacity, as the physical form you have is the vessel, or it is the shell of who you're going to remember that you are and become. We believe, as a human, that this is all there is. And yet it is the workplace for you to evolve, for your gifts, as you begin to bring the spiritual piece to yourself, so that your mind can create, so your heart can love and have patience, so that your root chakra lets you be present in the moment. There's a whole nother set of things and tools that it generates for you as you begin to understand it all differently. So, good morning to who came on. We're talking about remaking your life. So, if you would, write a short paragraph about how you see your life today. We're going to learn how to go about when a problem comes to you, how to go about solving it. And I'm sure there's been some doozies, because I've had them too. And you wonder, well, what do I do with this? And as we do this work and bring you into a different understanding, it is only a lesson. And I know it feels very real. But in that is your ego. We all have one. It's the part of you that thinks it's in charge and doesn't want to let go of you in the mind. So we're going to learn to let the ego piece of us, it can't go away, but it can evolve. So we welcome your egos to evolve with us. and give you, again, I'm going to repeat myself, spirituality is by learning through repetition. All right. So a lot of it is about understanding how it works. You didn't go and buy a mixer and know immediately how it worked. You had to maybe read about it or try it out. Well, your spirituality and making this whole human soul work for you takes some understanding. It takes some figuring it out. And what's going to happen in the end is you're going to know joy and harmony and peace and all the qualities that you give to the higher universe, God, whatever that is for you, because it will become evident in your inner being. We spend our life attempting to change things from our outer world, things around us. Well, maybe I'll do this with a paper, or I'll call this person. And many times we're going to learn when you can take it inside and work with the gifts that's been given to you. You just haven't known to act on them. Things will change and it'll be much simpler. So, we're going to take experiences from revelation to realization. Like you can become aware of a problem, but we're going to realize it's just a lesson. Okay? How's that sound? There's a old statement, and I want you to write this down, those of you who have your paper. Be still and know that I am God. Not so much that I'm saying it's from the Bible, it's a statement of life. Many scholars, many wise beings and people have grown and lived and manifested a wonderful life by finding that peace inside. Oh, so yes, we'll talk about meditation. You'll say, well, people meditate to do that. Well, even the greatest monks who I spent time with have trouble finding it always. Again, it depends on the state of the mind. It has to have a point of letting it go. Letting it go. But in the end of this class, we'll realize that the outer world is not our reality, that our inner world is what makes us tick. And right now, that inner world could be a part of you that you don't even know where it is. And is mother and father there? Or is anybody there? Is anyone listening? And that's going to change. So I hope you be patient and have maybe gotten your paragraph written and just tuck it away. We're not going to go over it today. I want it to be there for when we are done this program. And you can see how in a short period of time, how much you've changed. So we're going to talk about creation first. Yes, yes. I know you know how babies are created, but do you know how ideas are created? Your day is filled with ideas or actions. Both come from the creative mind. The truth that we all need to understand is a part of the law of spirit. Energy follows thought. It's that simple. Where you focus energy, manifestation happens. And it depends upon the intent you've given it as to what manifests. So let's see if we can make that clearer. Let's say if I see a plant and I start giving it thoughts of love, and I'm sure you've heard that, if I even sing my songs to it, it's going to grow quickly and it's going to become huge and beautiful and respond to me by giving me oxygen. But if that same plant lived in a home of, I even hate using this word, but hatred or lower frequency or jealousy or anger, it would probably wither. And you would say to me, oh, well, maybe it wasn't watered. No, It doesn't matter. Even if it's watered, it's going to look 70% worse than the plant that lives in harmony. Trust me. So we want to realize that you are the plant. And how is your surroundings? How is this outer world that you're empowering? What are you listening to? What are you watching on TV? What are you putting into your body? All these things are either creating peace, joy, and happiness, or antagonism and jealousy. And oh, you know all the things. I don't have to repeat them. And if you are one who's doing the negative, we need to let you have a moment here and ask yourself why. Why am I doing this to myself? When, in the greatest capacity, you can give it love instead. You know, when my daughter was little and we'd work, maybe she had something happen at school. This one day, she shocked me. We got down to where she could see this door and didn't want to open it at first because she could hear the dragon roaring and the anger behind it. And she said, Mommy, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to open the door and kiss the dragon. Why doesn't everybody do that? So think a minute of the power you give to the negative behind the door that you don't even see. You don't even know its action. So let the little girl remind you, because we don't really have fear to the level that humans, adults can have it until we're older. And let's kiss the dragon and let it turn into a little teddy bear. And that is taking away the power from what we've given to all the negative. And we'll begin to set ourselves free, you and me. And I mentioned that your body is only a shell, a vessel. And that's the goal, you know. All this is about becoming a vessel for God, the universe. All of us can have different understandings or names of what we use it for. But it's for us to allow that higher experience of light to work through us and to heal the earth, to heal people. Maybe you're a healer, to do healing sessions. Maybe you're a poet, to write whatever you need. There's no certain way that as you become a vessel and allow that greater universe to come work through you, of what you do with it. The hope is you do something with it, that you become free so you can speak freely, not so much always at first outside, but to begin to speak freely to the part of you inside that's wanting and dying to have more, to be at peace. Yeah. How free would that feel? I want you to think of how many of you feel wrapped up in a rope uh, by, God bless them, the husbands, the children, the in laws, the boss. Think of all the people you probably in some way answer to. And what if you can find a point where you can be respectful to all those people, but find the greater respect in yourself and speak freely in a loving way so that people can hear? People don't like to hear the attack. I hear about attacks all the time. What's the point? What is an attack going to do but have another wall of protection shut somebody down? We want people to reveal themselves. We want to know the beauty of their spirit, the wonders of what their creative mind can possibly create to help this world just this day and this moment. How do we discover that? As we let go these black fabrics wrapped around us, constraining us, holding us tight, we are going to become more. we are going to become awake to ourselves. In another way, I would say the path is about remembering who you really are. You know, you've lived a lot of lives. I have lived 149,000 lives. So, I mean, a lot of lives. I have records that say I've been ran over by a stagecoach, shot at. We've all done everything in the past. Right now, this moment, we're all alive. We can hear, we can share, but we can also feel. So we want to allow the feeling nature of our heart. What are feelings? Feelings are gentleness, kindness, compassion, appreciation. The emotions, which are usually a part of the problem, are in your second chakra. And that second chakra is about relationships and those emotions. And that's why you have these situations going on right now, even with the relationship with yourself. So I want a blue light of showers to come down of serenity over all of you, just to calm the emotions, just to let them go. They're not real. The emotional field was built and created for the humankind when they couldn't find their truth. It's still not our truth today, but many live that way, maybe you. But there is no fear, there is no sadness. We each have a path. And whatever your path is, I know you wouldn't want anyone else to change it on you. You don't want to miss a piece or a speck of the good or the bad, when there really it isn't a good or bad. It's your gentle journey on your evolution, which is going to set you free. We must change our belief system in how and what it is and what it's doing to us. And in that, we will begin to be at peace. So we want to be grateful for the body we have. We want to embrace her, embrace him. Look in the mirror. The right eye is your soul. And you want to look at the right eye. See if you see any flashes. I've heard a lot over the years, well, I can't see. And that is an affirmation of what is not the truth. We all have been given all gifts. We are preventing ourselves from living them. So then you may say to me, well, I don't know what to do with those gifts. And I'll say to you, you have a higher self right inside of you that's there to inform you of all you need. Or you could find a teacher. It doesn't matter. It will all work. I've seen it happen over and over again. So, rooted, that root chakra, you must be present in the earth. Do you know our problems are stemmed from everybody living from their heart up? That's why it makes no sense to us. They're not being present in the reality of today. Are you? That's the question. It's about you. Is that root chakra open and keeping you safe, giving you well being and vitality? So I'm saying that if you're not safe, or if you're tired, or if you don't really know where you are and where you're going, you need to go about opening that root chakra. It's scarlet red. You just ask for that light to come to it. Scarlet red, begin to spin it, and it will begin to open. And you'll begin to sit in front of me even clearer than you were before. So, and I can feel some of you more. I can also feel your hearts opening. Yes, my heart is sending light and love to all of you. Perhaps some will feel it, perhaps some don't. But I assure you, it will become more in tune as we go along. Love is our greatest healer. It's the greatest gift we've ever been given, truly, to have our love and begin to have it align with our throat and to speak out to another. They do hear it, assured you. They do hear it. A sweet baby, what does she want to hear to go to sleep but a lullaby? We're taught on one level at a very young age that the harmony within the heart is an answer and how quickly that's stolen away. It's not about saying no or yes to the baby, it's how you say it, where it comes from inside you, what thought you give it. That's what changes your interaction with people. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from the love of the mind into the heart, or is it coming from your own anger and the ego and you wanting to be in control? Let's just be honest and think about it. These things will change your life. Where do you want to live life from? Why do we not try to live from love? What do you think? Advancing your consciousness, raising it up, living more up from a heightened perception will allow you to reveal and see the fullness of life inside you. Perhaps now you can't see it, but we are going to change that. If you desire, it's up to you. It'll cause a greater manifestation in your life and to begin to have your life take a higher expression. Expression, perception, it's how you see things, how you feel things, how you interact with things. Or do you want to live in the turmoil? Hey, I've lived in turmoil before. It's not a happy place. And you wonder where anyone is that can help you. You can be helped only if you're willing to create the bedding to allow it to happen. Okay? Good morning. If you've recently signed up, we're in the Remake Your Life class. So I wrote down a comment here, a thought for you to think about. In the purity of our thinking and feeling, it is the key to the entrance of our immortal being. We got to give up thinking this isn't for us. This is you. It's every single human being on the earth or wherever else they are. That's what it's about. We're here to evolve. And when people like myself say to you, the healing will never end, because it won't. We are always becoming more. More is brought to us to heighten what we have and what we are. So, what do you think about all that? Are you still up for being a participant? For having your life touched by the power of the mind, merging with the heart, and having that together form an energy that touches things to bring them peace. So, how do I know this about with kids? Well, I have a beautiful grandson. He and his mother do not have uh, a relationship like he and I do. Ours is very one on one. I know him for who he is, he accepts me for who I am, and his behavior with me and her is totally different. So tell me what's different in the picture is simply where it comes from each of us. I can correct him. I even don't really want to use that word, but I can explain to him why that behavior isn't part of who he is as a being and why it may not be acceptable. Where a parent can just hold strong on their attitude in a different way. You know what I mean. And I'm bringing this up because this is how you talk to yourself. How do I know that? I'm guessing, but I'm guessing from working with a lot of people who have an anger or an annoyance to themselves. Let's be aware. Anything that you're having issues with out here, you got to go in here to feel it. You got to go in here to heal it. Because until you do, it's still going to come up and it's going to still annoy you to death. And it won't get any good. It'll just get bigger. Remember, what we give energy to grows. Your energy field starts saying, I need to heal anger. I need to heal anger. And then you wonder, why did they come at me? And if we looked inside of you and saw all that rage, we'd understand. It's right there inside you. But when you can love yourself and change the perception of who you are, you're not singing that out to the world anymore. You can move into saying, I'm a joyful, peaceful being. And I love myself. I have respect for who I am. And this is a real big one. I get it a lot. Well, they're not respecting me. Well, first we need to identify what is respect. For me, respect is honoring my soul and who I hold and how I am to my world. And to someone who can't see that before they even go to speak with me, I would see as disrespectful. So you need to decide, where is your respect inside yourself? And there's the issue. Why isn't it there? Why have you lost value and worth of yourself? Because that doesn't exist. There is, in truth, a great value of you to yourself. And I don't mean to be confusing you, but there's a great value in what you have to offer and feeling accepted. You hear talk about the authentic self. Well, the authentic self can't exist until you've gone through these misperceptions about who you are and know who you really are. The authentic self is who you truly are. And it would be a respectful being who holds a sacredness yet to be untold and who is honorable. Truth. The greatest power is held even in the smallest piece of you. The greatest power is held even in the smallest piece of you. And for us, that's very small cells. And how many have ever had the thought of being powerless? Oh my, right? Somewhere, if you go through my videos, is the threefold flame. I would encourage any of you who want to continue, it would be beneficial to go through again the threefold flame. It brings the love and the wisdom, the love, and the divine power all around you. And they're yours. God gave them to you. And when you work with that and begin to walk through life with the wisdom, the love, and the divine power radiating from you, how do you think life would change? It's going to change your responses. It may change your thinking, but we'll be gentle. We can begin to work with it, or I'll remind you again next time. That's all. There are no have tos. Because this is a class for you. This is a class the heavens wanted you to be able to touch. It can be as simple as you want to let it be. So today, I probably talked to you enough, long enough. And I'm sorry my chat's not up. I can't see what you're saying, but I'm going to keep trying and figure it out and find out what happened. I don't know. It's an arena that I'm not aware of, but I will figure it out. So today, in the remaking of yourself, our thoughts are about the mind and how do we use our thinking. Quieting the mind, giving it energy from our heart when we think of things, and choosing to not have your first reaction be from an innate place of anger or, oh no. You want to take a breath. And there is a blue light of serenity that comes from the heavens. I had a terrible thing happen to me, and I went into my desk, and it came down and just filled every cell of my being. And with very few moments, I realized the world didn't end. I was going to be fine, and it was workoutable. We could work it out. It's when you go into that old reaction in the human state, in that personality state, that the trouble exists. So, write me your thoughts and questions in the comments because yet today I can't see them. Hopefully, next time I will. I'm really thrilled to be able to have people there to talk to. Um, don't forget tonight, go to Celtic Tarot Sheila. Her and I are going to be doing the letting go ceremony for tomorrow is the new moon. So tonight we're going to let go. Tomorrow is the day for all of you to write affirmations in a positive way. I don't know if I ever told you, but that's how my husband came into my life. I was married and I wrote everything down. That's how I was told to do it. Just write everything down you wanted in a husband. But they forgot to tell me to put his name on it. So I just sent it out for a man that had all these qualities. So Douglas showed up, things changed. We were in Thailand. So what do you want? Say it as if you have it. It's here now. That's the power of the mind. You put out that, oh, in a couple months, it may never come. When I was in Science of Mind classes, which is where you begin to study the use of the mind, a girl came in one night. She was so excited. She'd been affirming for a pink Cadillac. And she said, hold on, everybody, before you get real excited. It didn't have an engine in it. So she had been doing all the work, got the pink Cadillac, but it didn't run. What a lesson for all of us, right? So when you want to put affirmations down, you always want to put all of it in there. What do you want? How do you want? Do you want happiness? Do you want someone to share love? I did write an affirmation here somewhere for you. Here's one for you. The universal life flows through me now. Let's just feel that. Universal life flows through me now. And then we can say, universal health flows through me now. Universal wisdom flows through me now. Love, abundance, peace. You can use that affirmation for a lot of things. I would write them out for tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, you do the same way. We're going to let go at the ceremony tonight. Either cut them up. I burn essences over mine. We can't have fire here. But a lot of different things. We'll go over that tonight. And it isn't going to say that tomorrow, snap, it's going to come. It's going to begin the preparation of you to have that come. It's never that. Depends on the power you hold, I shall say. We can remember how Christ healed the blind man, but do you realize he never thought of the man as blind? He was just loving a soul, and the man came back to being whole. Now, if he would have given his power to the blindness of the man, he would still not see. So it's really understanding. You cannot send the mind with an empowerment of the negative. You'll expand it. If a child's having a tantrum, you can't become the tantrum with it. You have to be calm and let it will die. It takes two to have that increase and get bigger and bigger. So, I hope you enjoyed this morning. I did. Thank you for those who've come and stayed. Class 1 complete, and we'll see what Class 2 next Monday. Nope, next Wednesday. I forget what day it is. Next Wednesday at 10 a.m. And we all know I will have the chat up by then, right? All right. Many blessings to you. Thank you very much.